Madam Acting Deputy President, on behalf of the Parliamentary Joint Committee on Intelligence and Security, I present a report by way of a statement on the Committee's review of the regulations relisting Jamaat Mujahideen Bangladesh (JMB) and the listing of Neo-Jamaat Mujahideen Bangladesh (Neo-JMB) as terrorist organisations under the Criminal Code Act 1995. Regulations that specify an organisation as a terrorist organisation cease to have effect on the third anniversary of the day on which they take effect. Organisations can be relisted provided the Minister is satisfied on reasonable grounds that an organisation continues to directly or indirectly engage in terrorism or advocate the doing of a terrorist act. Jamaat Mujahideen Bangladesh was last listed in 2018 and the regulations to relist them were tabled in Parliament on the 2nd of June 2021. Neo-Jamaat Mujahideen Bangladesh, Neo-JMB, was first listed as an alias of JMB in 2018 and, following advice from the Australian government agencies, is now considered to be an organisation that operates independently of JMB. These regulations to relist them were tabled in Parliament on the 2nd of June 2021. The Committee's review examines the Minister's decision to list and relist these organisations. Section 102(1)(a) of the Criminal Code provides the Committee may review a regulation which relists or lists an organisation as a terrorist organisation and report its comments and recommendations to each House of the Parliament before the end of the applicable 15-day sitting disallowance period. This statement serves this purpose and is being presented within the required period. In determining whether the regulations relisting and listing these organisations should be supported, the Committee reviewed the merits in accordance with the Minister of Home Affairs' explanatory statement, ASIO's statement of reasons for the organisations and other publicly available information. In its deliberations, the Committee determined that JMB is a Bangladeshi Sunni violent extremist group which aims to remove democracy, liberalism, socialism and secularism and institute an Islamic State in Bangladesh. The group's ideology broadly aligns with al-Qaeda and their global jihadist ideals. Since it was first listed on 9 June 2018, JMB has continued to conduct terrorist attacks. There are no known direct links between JMB and Australia, and while Australians are unlikely to be directly targeted, they may be incidentally harmed in attacks perpetrated at tourist sites in Bangladesh. Neo-JMB was first listed as an alias of JMB on 9 June 2018. However, the group is operating independently of JMB and has been listed as a terrorist organisation. The group is assessed to be an affiliate of the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant and subscribes to Islamic State's anti-Western ideology, which would consider Australians to be legitimate targets of attack. Neo-JMB has been assessed to have been responsible for a number of terrorist attacks, and in Australia, a Bangladeshi student who was reportedly a Neo-JMB member was responsible for a lone attacker stabbing attack in Melbourne on 9 February 2018. Neo-JMB favours lone wolf or small group attacks in which Australians may also be incidentally targeted while overseas. There is evidence that these groups continue to be engaging in, preparing, assisting with or fostering terrorist activities that could potentially and profoundly impact the Australian people. In examining the evidence that has been provided, the Committee is satisfied with the relisting processes and considers that they have been followed appropriately for these organisations. The Committee therefore supports the relisting and listing of JMB and Neo-JMB under Division 102 of the Criminal Code in order to protect Australians and Australia's interests and finds no reason to disallow the regulations, and I seek leave to continue my remarks.
Is leave